Hi all, and welcome to From Russia with Love Part 4. Walk like an Egyptian indeed. Except who are the Egyptians? Right, this group of people emanating originally out of India via all the Istan countries arrived in Egypt that created a cult, one based in human sacrifice, pedestry as mentioned in the Talmud, violence and suffering, and became known as the Israelites. But they had nothing to do with Israel or by and large the Jewish peoples either. No, it's the house of Israel. The cult of Baal. Baal is a title and was played by Marduk. Marduk also played Ra, as in Amun-Ra, that went on to create most, if not all, of the world's religions, all divide and conquer programs, creating a construct that gave everyone the illusion that everything was above or outside of them when it was all inside of you. They created all our known wars for most of the last 2,000 years, trashed nations, cultures, peoples, destroyed history to fit their narrative and hide the real narrative, created or took over most of the bloodline house families. Houses operate for and by them. Created usury style banking and took over the whole financial system, making and trading our life force energy for coloured pieces of paper with numbers on them that intrinsically have no real value. Denied the world's population real progress by taking over all the corporations, stifling businesses, making humanity stall by retaining old technology that not only was not beneficial or cost effective to us, but harmed the planet as well. Created or took over secret societies and the mystery schools to promote their hidden agenda that pervades throughout our society in all the institutions supposedly designed to protect or serve us. It is they who are behind most of the trafficking, child slavery, child sexual abuse and child sacrifice. Look at the building on Epstein Island, where young children are kidnapped, abused, raped and worse. Is it not an Egyptian style building? Complete with the owl, Moloch again. Egyptian word for the owl is Moloch. All replete with the blue and white lines that represents the modern day Israel flag. It is not Israel at all. It's not the Jews at all either. It is celebrating an Egyptian-led cult of all worship Ra and the Kali Ma. It is also referenced that the circumcision is a practice of the Jews only. You would be wrong in thinking that was the origin. The origin was way back, and again it came from Egypt. Going back 3,000 years, many years before the fathers of medicine were born, to the days of the astrologer, we present you with a rite as old as the Bible, the taking of the foreskin of each male child, and in Egypt the circumcision of females was also practiced. This cult, which evidence supports, was supported by off-world originating entities: Marduk, Anu, Enki, Enlil, Ninurta, Nergal, with the ground disciples who I believe were a part of them, not us, like Noah, Moses. Moses is not a real name, it is also a title. Abraham, Genghis Khan, Cohen, which apart from now being a Jewish name also means priest, signifying the church. I don't care which church you follow, but what you have to realize is you are following a death sacrificial cult all going back to the brotherhood of the snake, and has you all worshipping something you have no idea of who or what it is. If you find out the real truth and accept it, all religious people will be doing and using my favourite MeWe GIF. Trust me. Michelangelo, said to be his finest and most outstanding sculpture, did a sculpture of Moses that sits inside the church of San Pietro in Vincoli, and that particular Moses has 2 horns on his head. Why would a celebrated sculpture deface his own creation unless he was telling you something? All hidden in plain sight. So much so in plain sight that too few question it. It's the pet goat and the Baphomet again. But there are some beings that walk around as humans with these very horns, even to this day. Both Kim and I have engaged and seen these beings. What you believe is God is based on an assumption. Assumption is not fact. You have assumed that that is your God. There is no proof to be had. It's all based on faith. Faith means a pledge to trust, like a contract, which means binding. In the 14th century, faith meant an assent of the mind to the truth of a statement for which there is incomplete evidence. Binding, pledging to an incomplete proof, is not proof, and the facts and evidence suggest otherwise. Look at all the wars. My God is better than your God. Really? How is the supposed creator of this universe operating in that divisive manner? Think about it. As a parent, the creator of children, would you get your children to fight each other to the death? So why would our creator promote or allow it? It didn't. And these usurpers representing themselves as gods have done much damage here and elsewhere. It is said that the Jews are the chosen people. Then why hasn't Yahweh saved them? Look at the quotes of the Talmud again. Is that really something to be promoting or worshipping as a loving God? Is it not promoting lawlessness for those people? A Jew, it is said, can do whatever they like, from stealing, killing, or sexually abusing children, and it's all okay, according to God and the Israelites. What kind of sick, perverted God is that? These are the same people who killed the person known as Jesus, which I'm not convinced was the real name. But let's just call him one of the teachers. He told you to follow yourself. In other words, go internal. Not follow him or some fake God. He tossed over the money table of the usury people, and then the supposed Son of God, he wasn't in a literal sense, but is in a source sense, was hung on the cross and brutally attacked whilst dying, condemned by the Sanhedrin and the Church of Rome. As My Peace from Russia with Love 3 has shown, they were one and the same, long before Christianity was created as another tool to divide and conquer. Newsflash, Jesus was not a Christian. It began after Jesus, in the 1st century AD, as a Jewish sect in Judea. Look it up yourself. But quickly spread throughout the Roman Empire. Again, which supports what was in the last show, these are all the same cult. Looking for further evidence to back up modern religion, and the Catholics in one in particular, is linked with these same ritual sacrifice vampiric demons. What did they drink at the ritual festivals? They drank wine at the slaughter festivals in both Solomon and Herod temples. And the Catholic Church Mass, they drink what? Wine. Symbolically, they tell you of drinking the blood of Christ. Since when did we all become Count Draculas? These elitists often drink the blood of young children for their life longevity, and is linked with the global scandal of adrenochrome use, a practice again that ends up with the sacrifice of a child, not one, but hundreds of thousands each year. Then we have the sacramental bread is passed off as eating the flesh of Christ. Really? So we are cannibals as well? Or was it them who were the cannibals? It's all in the words, you see. Canny, Baal. Come the 7th century BCE, Josiah, king of Judah, spearheaded a profound religious reformation that included centralizing ritual sacrifice in Jerusalem and destroying the competing sites. Why would the Holy of Holies, God's most prominent city, we are told, be set up by the Jewish Josiah as the main centre for sacrifice of humans, mainly children? Please think logically here. Is that an example of a real God? What type of God sacrifices their own creation for entertainment? Lots of people follow and worship Donald Trump, for example. But if he signed a bill tomorrow stating we are going to sacrifice American people for the greater good of America, would you go along with it? Think, people, and I mean really think. This is beyond insane practices and thought processes, and goes against all morals and principles humanity should abide by. Unless, of course, you think the rules don't apply to God. Eerily reminiscent, is it not, of these so-called elites? El means God. That's why they call themselves elites. Why is it the same? It's ran by the same people as why. Nothing to do with God, source, or religion. Religion is the vehicle by which these psychopaths drive humanity into the abyss. Now, I'm genuinely sorry for all those who got wrapped into the experiment and program of religion. I truly am. They have robbed you of your life force energy to feed their sick and twisted mindsets and keep you away from your real God connection, which is Source. Source is within you, not external of you in the sky. Now, the original meaning of God meant you are a higher evolved being. This means you have attained higher soul growth by using your own life force energy into your progress, not giving it all away to some fake external force. But these dark forces have done everything to prevent you from reaching that higher soul growth and being at one with the real Source. Everything has become external of you when it's internal. It always was. People will complain, someone stole my car, money or house, and yet you have no idea of the depth of what they have really stole off you. You won't even get close to comprehending it. I will repeat again. I am using the term Jew throughout this piece, but do not relate that to being every single Jewish person or anti-Jewish. It's not. The Jews have been used as pawns in these evil parasite games. Period. Israelites are not Jews per se, but Egyptian dark force occultists.